What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the NtenseSports podcast. I'm one of your hosts, QuikGunZ. I got Siggy AccordRacer and I got AccordRacer. What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Let's do this.
All right, so today's sportscast, really quickly, just to give you guys a heads up, it's not going to be as long as usual. Our time is a little bit limited today, so we're going to try to get through some of the topics as quick as possible. Accord, what's on the menu today, man?
All right,
what are we talking?
Since it's Super Bowl week, I figured let's get our Super Bowl picks in and Super Bowl talk in with what's going on during the week. I found it really interesting how Cam Newton's being treated completely differently than Peyton Manning and all the media going on during the week. Is this because of the type of quarterback he is, or is it because of where he comes from in Atlanta?
Because he's black.
Is it? I was trying to be
because
politically
he's
correct.
a big black quarterback.
So that's
no
the reason?
bullshit. No bullshit.
So that's the reason.
You know, it's kind of sad. Like I just watched a video right now, and Wall Street reporter just asked Cam Newton. This was the question, Cam. Why are you wearing socks with your sandals?
How's that legit question?
You know how why are you wearing jeans with your shoes? Why? What the fuck are you? Why? Why don't you? Who would ask Peyton Manning that question?
Nobody.
Why would you ask anyone that question?
That's the thing. If it was, I don't know, man. They're treating him completely different than any other quarterback I've seen done on media day.
I would have just responded because I'm fucking comfortable.
You want to know what's funny though is how come these questions weren't asked of Russell Wilson last year?
That's true too. But he's more of a traditional quarterback though.
He's half black.
And he's more of a traditional quarterback. He's from, he does the whole, the southern.
And he didn't steal a laptop.
I think it's just to get reactions. I think the media learns and the media knows real quick how to draw up attention, and he's a target that can bring up a lot of attention to their articles, their sites, or anything like that. Reaction, especially, they can draw up a lot of reaction for doing different things. The dab, nobody cared about the dab until he did it. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, it became a phenomenon because the media made it a big deal. So, anything that Cam Newton does, the media is pushing buttons, doing reactions on purpose, having everybody freak out on purpose. So it's just all part of the game.
All right. So are we still sticking to the picks? You two with Carolina or the Panthers, and me with.
Yeah. So for those of you guys
Denver.
that didn't watch or didn't get a chance to listen to the podcast last week, we did have our Super Bowl predictions. Siggy and I are giving the Broncos 21 points. If the Broncos can score 21 points
They may have
in
a
the
chance.
first quarter and they're up by 21 points, they might have a chance to win. Might. I still think, regardless, the Panthers
Panthers are going to win, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So nothing's changed over the last week. I think actually a Bronco got sent home, right? From
Yeah.
What was it?
Yesterday, I think.
So
Why? I don't know.
I don't know what he did. I already know who it is. It's obviously not body important if we don't remember the name of him, but
Yeah.
still doesn't help that the Broncos are losing people already before the Super Bowl. So I don't see the Panthers losing this game still.
All right, and I'm going with the Broncos just to be different.
You are different. You're white.
Kaepernick wants to leave, and a rumor going he's going to the Jets. Why the hell would he want to leave when he's finally got a coach that wants him?
Because he's got Chipper Kelly on his team. Chipper Kelly is the coach.
But Kelly likes him. He says he likes him.
He's a college coach. He shouldn't be in the NFL. Period. Siggy, why? Why should the Jets get him?
The Jets obviously should get him because he is a dynamic quarterback. His talent is there. He doesn't have the talent around him. Michael Crabtree was gone. They had a good coach, and he, bailed on them. Vernon Davis, I think, was hurt that last year, before he got shipped out. So there was a lot of pieces in there in place. Frank Gore, obviously. That's what made him good. When he has talent around him, he's a good quarterback. He showed that. When he doesn't have the talent around him, he was mediocre. Also, though, I want to say, as far as mediocre goes, he was mediocre because the play calling was mediocre. I wouldn't necessarily say it was his fault. more so the play calling was just terrible. They were trying to run. They abandoned their whole pistol offense. Everything that made him good, they abandoned. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't know if they were trying to make him into John Elway or what, but that's why I think he wants to leave. Now, I think Chip Kelly can make him good again, or at least show that he still has the talent. But with the Jets, he's looking at two things: Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. Period. He has talent around him, and even if they don't re-sign what's his name, Chris Ivory, any running back coming in there has a potential to be good in that Jets line, because they've always had a good running offense. No matter who was there, because their line is pretty good. So now you have a quarterback in run too. That's why Kaepernick wants to go there.
Yeah, I think it would be a great fit. The only way I could see anything in San Francisco working, the only way Chip Kelly could save his job is he needs Kaepernick, and he needs to have the whole offense revolve around Kaepernick, and whatever Kaepernick wants, give it to him. That's the only way it's going to work. Put surrounding pieces, put a great offensive line in front of him that will allow him time to either throw or run. Give him a run game. But why if he's been through that already, right? If Kaepernick has been there already, has gone through the ups and then the really big downs with that organization as a whole, coach isn't going to really make a difference in his opinion, in his eyes. He needs a fresh start, right? Yep. I think he needs a fresh start, and the Jets are a really good team. If they didn't give up at the very end, or when they really tried and they let the Bills beat them, they were a playoff team.
Yeah,
they had a great record too. I mean, not a great record, but they had a really good record.
Yeah, they were 10-6. I mean, they had a really good, surprising season. Now that's the conundrum they're in, though. Ryan Fitzpatrick's a free agent, and I can't, as a Jets fan, I can't just abandon Fitzpatrick for Kaepernick after what Fitzpatrick did. The only way the Jets are going to make this work is two things. One, they're not going to try to trade for Kaepernick. He has too much salary. He has too much of a cap hit, etc. There's just no way. You re-sign Fitzpatrick. You hope the 49ers cut Kaepernick. Maybe that's why he's making noise anyways. You hope that he's cut. And then he'll be able to come. If he really wants to be a Jet, then he's going to have to come over here knowing full well that he's either going to have to compete with Fitzpatrick to get that job, or, hey, let's see what happens. And, if he gets hurt, etc., or if he leaves, then we'll go ahead and give you the job. But Fitzpatrick, in my opinion, deserved the shot to be the starter next year for the Jets.
I don't think Kaepernick should leave. I think he should just stay put where he is. He's been with that team. Just stay where he is.
Plus, what about this? What about Kaepernick to the Rams?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, I guess the LA market thing, if he wants to, at least even if the team is bad, at least, be a star of LA. I mean, I could see that there, but man, that's still, the talent level sucks in the Rams.
He's not the Rams' first choice, though. He wouldn't be the Rams' first
RG3?
choice. No, RG3 is going to Dallas. Everybody knows that. He's going to Dallas. I don't know who. I don't think the Rams and him would fit.
I mean, they could. I mean, look, they have Gurley. When I say talent on the Rams, I mean receivers. They don't have very dynamic receivers. Now, it's not like they can't get a dynamic receiver, especially if they have, Gurley there to attract, some free agents, or for, trading and stuff like that, picks, etc. But Kaepernick and that system with Jeff Fisher, would that work? I don't know. He seems to like more of the
traditional
Ben Roethlisberger type. Now, he likes running quarterbacks to a degree. He like McNair, etc. He likes them. He likes the pocket passer that only wants to run when he has to. So he's like a Donovan McNabb type of guy. That's what he likes.
Why I would like Kaepernick to the Rams is just this simple. I know maybe about 20 San Francisco 49er fans. And every fan that I know, personally in real life, has a Kaepernick jersey. Okay? Because they love Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
They've hated what the front office has done to that team.
Yeah.
Now, and I've asked a lot of them. Hey, now that we have a football team, you guys gonna come over? And they're like, nah. Yeah, I really don't know. By them getting Kaepernick, that's gonna convert a lot of 49er fans that are living in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I see it. if you can bring Kaepernick down here, a lot of the 49er fans that have only become 49er fans because this place hasn't had a team, a lot of them will convert, and it's going to help the Rams fan base grow. That's the only thing I could see as to why it would make sense.
But look at it from Kaepernick's point of view. The Rams are garbage, right? I know the 49ers aren't any better, but I
They
mean,
have a lot of young talent, man.
No, they do have a lot of good talent.
A lot. And then Gurley's a fucking
Gurley's
beast.
a beast, and their defense is pretty legit. And
They have no receivers.
They have no receivers, so that's the only thing.
it'll be a total running game, and he needs to throw the ball.
Well, we could segue perfectly to this next topic. Peyton Manning to LA.
LA.
Of LA quarterbacks. What do you think about that?
We just said it. No wide receivers.
It doesn't.
Why would he come here?
Where did this
doesn't
come
make
from
sense for
anyways?
him.
Who made this up?
No, look, I'll tell you
It came
right.
up from the media week. It came up from media week that that they were looking to pick him up, and he may leave Denver and go there and to be the first quarterback in LA and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't make sense. He doesn't have anything to prove. He's fucking Manning, man, and he doesn't have to do anything.
I would say it's just like a stunt, or just like to put butts in seats and try to sell out, which they don't need to. But why would Peyton agree to that? I just makes absolutely no sense.
Makes no sense.
If he were to really want to play one more year, and the Broncos obviously they're gonna go to what's his name?
Osweiler.
Yeah. Then he would have to go to at least a contending team. Maybe the Jets. Why not go to if the Jets can't get Colin Kaepernick? You wouldn't want Peyton Manning, Siggy?
Man, it reminded me of the Brett Favre situation.
I know.
Where it would.
But
if Brett Favre would have stayed healthy those last few games, it would have been great. Because the very next year, he decided to go to the Vikings because he really wanted the Vikings the whole time. And then he kicked ass for the Vikings. And the rest was history. He did really good with Vikings. I see that with Manning. If he's healthy, he could really help out because he could be a good enough quarterback for that team, especially with the talent around him. And obviously he's throwing to Decker and stuff like that, and Marshall, right? So he would know what to do with those receivers. It would definitely be an instant, rapport with them. But he's old, and I just don't like what I've seen from Manning this year. I honestly think if he wins, he's retiring. I just don't see him coming back. I don't think he needs to. You know what I mean? I don't know if I wouldn't say it ruins his, tarnishes his legacy or anything like that if he does, but he doesn't need to.
It's gonna turn if he stays. He's gonna turn into the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. He's gonna stay too long.
What, really? You have to say Kobe Bryant.
It's true though.
No basketball, bro. We're not talking basketball.
I actually think Kobe had some years in him. I mean,
he dropped 30 what? 35?
35
38?
years. Yes.
Hey,
530, whatever it was.
vintage Mamba, he's back.
I think
I don't know.
I mean, when Jordan played the last years, that's when you could tell it was over for him.
Oh my God, that was hard.
Kobe can still contribute. He's trying to do it as a full-time starter. I think that's where his problem is. 6-man though, he could be a great 6-man.
If he learns to be a 6-man, that's his problem.
That's true.
All right, so we good with the Peyton Manning to LA?
I think it's not going to happen.
He's going. I don't think he's going either. Quick, you don't think he's going?
No, hell no.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Zero
going
chance.
either. All right, speaking of basketball, let's move on to the Warriors. They are. I just can't believe the amount of scoring at will and the amount of time these guys can just take over a game. Curry was on pace for almost 100 points the other night. So, do you think? I think they are. I think they're going to beat the Bulls record. Do you think they're going to beat the Bulls record and they're going to go down as the all-time greatest team?
Man, I mean, it is hard because it's already happened. The 72-10, the Bulls did it. So it's hard to say that the Warriors are going to do it because I don't think it can ever be beat. But halfway, or not halfway, but a little more than halfway, their record is almost identical. Actually,
I think it's better.
The Warriors just jumped the game up. They're 45-4, and at this point, the Bulls were 44-5. And we've already seen the two teams that everybody wanted to, say, even including me, I'll admit it. I was like, well, the Warriors, if they could beat the Spurs, then I'll say they're legit. and they destroyed the Spurs. It wasn't even close. 120-90. Yes, they didn't have Tim Duncan, but I don't think it mattered.
Wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered. It would, in fact, that probably would have hurt the Spurs even more because it would have made them slower. And then then a couple of days before that, they played the Cavs, and that was the other team that supposedly in the finals is who they're going to beat to stop them, right? Or that has a chance of beating them. Nope, didn't happen. They destroyed them even worse, 132-98. So the two best teams stacked up against the Warriors this season, or as far as on paper, didn't even come close. Their losses were to the Sixers, which was surprising because it was overtime, whatever. And I think one of them was the Nuggets, etc.
Didn't they almost lose to the Sixers twice?
They lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to, which I think is more of a talent thing.
Somebody hit a three at the very end of the game when it was tied.
They lost to the Bucks. That was one of the losses. The Mavericks beat them.
They just won a game by 3 points.
Nuggets.
That's the game that they were going to lose.
Yeah, Nuggets, and then there was the Sixers.
It was the Sixers.
Sixers.
Yeah.
Against the Sixers. It was tied with like 2 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
Somebody hit a three to win.
So
anyway,
those teams, though, they're not going to be competing in the playoffs to beat them. At least not the Sixers and the Nuggets and et cetera. Not even the Mavs. The Mavs are a good team, but they're not going to be beating them in the playoff 7. So, as far as that question, can they beat the Bulls' record? After what I've seen so far against the two best teams outside of the Warriors, yes, they should be able to, because there should be no reason why any team can beat them in a regular game unless they're hurt. Now, we saw that in one of those games, Klay Thompson was hurt and they lost. So if they get hurt, injuries, etc., that's where you start questioning if that record is safe or not. The Bulls had Michael Jordan healthy that whole season, so that's the reason why they were able to get that record. Can they keep everybody healthy in the Warriors? I don't know.
What I really like about the Warriors, man, is first of all, let me say that if the Warriors don't beat the record, that record will never be touched, ever. What I really like about the Warriors is, Steph, he didn't play 1 game or 2 games. Klay Thompson took over. Klay Thompson can take over.
Yep.
Green can take over.
Yep.
Anyone there could have a game where they'll take over, and the team would just keep giving him the ball, keep dishing the ball around. So they really play together as a team, and I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna.
And they're rumored to be the front runner for Durant.
And
what?
And speaking of Durant, that's true. I heard that all of a sudden the Warriors have become
They're interested.
the team.
Number one is they want Durant bad.
And speaking of Durant, that's who their next test is the Thunder, on February 6th. So that'll be interesting. What do you think about that if Durant goes over there? You think it's a good fit? You think it'll ruin the chemistry, or what do you think?
No.
No.
They won't lose a game. They will not lose a game.
That'll be like me hosting a game, right? And I have host playing Black Ops 3, and everyone else is on a 1 bar. That's what that team would look like.
Hey, you know what though? We've seen in the past. I mean, the Lakers are a perfect example. Remember when they won their 3 in a row, and then they started loading up on Karl Malone and Gary Payton, and I mean that.
Yeah, no, but come on.
I know they were in a decline in their careers, etc. But I'm just saying, on paper, that team looked like it should have been.
They went to the finals.
They should have won.
They got destroyed.
They should have. I mean,
by the Pistons.
That team should have won it all, though.
All right, so your number 1 pick. Let's say the season starts, knowing what you know now with what the season's happening. We talked about this before we started doing this whole thing. Is your number 1 pick LeBron, or is it Steph Curry?
It's still LeBron James for me. It's still LeBron James. LeBron James is somebody that you could take on any team, put him in, and that team becomes legit. And a perfect example is when he left Cleveland. You saw how bad that same Cleveland team was because they had everybody else in there and even added, I think, somebody, and they were dead last. They only had like 10 wins, I think. It was something horrible. This is coming off the finals when LeBron left. So LeBron was the difference of the whole team. Steph Curry, we just talked about. If you take him away, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, etc., can carry that team. Steph Curry has always been a great player when he came in. It was the development of Draymond Green, in my opinion, that was the difference of the Warriors. him becoming the beast that he is, and the important piece, he's triple-double now, a machine. That's what's making the Warriors so great, in my opinion, is him. As far as the overall chemistry of the team, elevating Curry's game, etc. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have Curry as your number 2 or 1, I mean, I can't argue with him. The way he's playing, especially after that 51-point game last night where he was just lights out. I mean, when he's on like that, no one can touch him.
Question. Would you be surprised if 10 years from now, everyone says that Steph Curry is the greatest basketball player of all time, better than Jordan? Do you think that would be a possibility?
I don't.
Going forward, 10 years.
But you're talking different.
He's consistent.
I'm going forward. Go ahead.
You're talking different eras, though. I mean, the '90s with the Bulls. I don't think you can compare that era. I mean, look, like the Knicks.
Bill Russell's era.
I don't know. I mean, with me, the '90s teams and the way they were all structured, the
Scrappy,
Knicks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I can't.
But
for me, growing up, like I'm watching ball in the '90s, I can't say anybody's better than Jordan. I don't even think LeBron is better than Jordan. I think LeBron.
No, you can't.
I don't think he is.
I remember watching all the Heat, the Hornets teams, the Knicks teams. I remember, like, it was. I would literally come home from school or wherever I was, and I'd want to watch the NBA. The NBA was the most dominant sport in the 90s, more than football, for me. Because, you would see Knicks players always fighting. The Pistons were always, it was like a brawl. It was like watching boxing and basketball at the same time.
Oh,
so I know where you're coming from.
Anthony Mason.
No, yeah. But just keep this in mind, though. With that being said, the basketball talent level in the 90s, nowhere near to the talent level from when Kobe to now.
You're right.
You cannot compare. You can't. Back in the 90s, it was who was always in the finals or who was always really, really good was always, always the Bulls, Jazz, and Pistons.
It was basically
Pacers.
Pacers.
The
Pacers. That's
Rockets.
it. Yeah, the Rockets too. But now it's like fucking 10 teams, man.
Well, and even the bad teams have great talent. Like I'm always amazed at watching teams like the Hornets and the Bucks. You look at the players, man. Those players are good. It's not like they're bad because they're horrible without any players. They have good players. That's just the talent there is right now. I don't know how to explain it because I know growing up in the '90s watching basketball, it was definitely dominant, etc. But the talent level of individual players is unmatched. What's his name could be a star if he was transplanted into the '90s. Let's say Wiggins. Man, he could have been a star in the '90s. For what he's doing. So.
Wiggins.
But we're
Canadian
talking about
boy.
Steph Curry. Steph Curry, 10 years from now, if this pace continues, let's say his pace right now continues for the next 5 years, and then it slowly declines, slowly, but it's kind of consistent from here on out. Could he possibly be one of the all-time greatest ever?
I don't think so. Here's my reason why. The reason why Jordan, LeBron, and all these other guys are great is because they did things. Not only can they score, they can rebound, they can dish, assist, etc. Steph Curry is a true point guard. Yes, he's going to get assists, he's going to get you scoring. He's very dependent on those 3-pointers, etc. And those and his jump shot. If that goes, which it can happen at any time. You just have bad games. I mean, Kyle Korver is a perfect example. A couple of years ago, he was lights out at 3-point. Now, where's Kyle Korver? You know what I mean? That can happen to him, and it wouldn't surprise me if it happened. So if Steph Curry becomes normal, where he's just only scoring 18 points a game, that's still great for a point guard, but that's not great compared to what he's doing this season, where he's throwing up 32 points a game. You know what I mean? But it would still be great, but that's just not. Yeah. It's just not normal. I guess.
I don't know. Kareem Kareem holds the record. What's the all-time scoring record?
Kareem.
Yeah, no. Well, whatever the scoring record is. Okay, here's my question. What would it take for Steph Curry to become or to be the all-time great, to surpass Jordan and Kobe?
He'll have to average 30 for 5-6 years.
Yeah, but he has to be able. Like the difference with Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. If those teams are down, let's say they were down by 20, 25, you can give the ball to any one of those three, and they'll just run with it. They don't have to dish it off. They don't have to go for threes. They'll do the grunt work. They'll drive the lane. They'll do everything they got to do to get that game back. Curry can't do that.
You don't think so?
I don't think he can.
I've seen him do it. He can score 30 points in a quarter.
Sure.
He's done that. He's done that, what, 5 times already?
But the team is not. The team hasn't faced adversity or enough adversity for him to be forced to do it all the time, or at least every other game or something.
Because he hasn't put his team in that position before.
That's true.
From the get-go, he's on fire. From the get-go. From the time the ball is up, he's lights out. And then he'll go sit, and Clay and everyone else will do their thing.
To answer your question, though, quick, if he does this for 5 years in a row, there's no doubt. You forget the 10. If he just does this 5 more years, then he's going to be one of the greatest players of all time just because of his position. That's just unheard of. You compare who do you say is the second best point guard? Chris Paul? Is that the agreement? Would you say it's Chris Paul?
I wouldn't say.
Who would you say is
Chris Paul was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Who's the second best point guard in the NBA right now?
I don't even know who to pick.
Kyrie?
Well, Kyrie he was hurt. Russell Westbrook, I guess.
Russell, yeah. Westbrook.
All right,
I'd go Westbrook.
All right, let's go Westbrook and maybe Damian Lillard.
Yes.
Them two are averaging 24 points a game. So that just shows how great they are when you look at their stats. 24. Curry's doing 30 right now. 30. It's just unheard of for a point.
That's more than Kobe did when he won the MVP.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just an unheard of season. So if he does this for 3, 4, 5 years, then yes, he's one of the greatest players of all time. I just don't see that happening. But, if he could play out of his mind like this consistently, then yes, 10 years down the road, he will be the greatest player of all time.
All right, guys. FYI, we got 14 minutes.
All right. So let's just move on to some quick hits. And I know I don't have them all posted in the chat, but I'll just say it.
Yep.
Okay, so the first one we got, I don't know why it's a big deal. National Signing Day. Why is this even a thing? Why is it so, to me, not being in the States, why is college football or college anything really that ingrained that ESPN's got to carry this, and they got automated tweets coming out and all this kind of stuff for kids that haven't proven anything. And these kids, and some of these kids are saying, I'm going to be in the NFL in 3 years, or I'm going to be in the NBA, after my 1 year or whatever. I don't know. Why is this even a thing? To me, I don't understand it.
College football is a big thing, dude. Over here in the States, it's just, you have fanatics. NFL has fans, NHL has fans. College football, you have fanatics. You have dudes that are willing to go in 0-degree temperatures with no shirt, wearing the Oregon O. It's just crazy people.
I think that sport has the most fanatics.
Yeah.
In any sport.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So then, it's got, because I know.
No, but I get your thing, because I don't care about it. I don't care about National Signing Day, but I can tell you this: everyone, all the big deal is in the South, right? The SEC.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got the most recruits. They always have. They always will. They're the most dominant. What's it called? Division, right? Division.
Conference.
Whatever. In the United States is the SEC. All right, so it's even greater there. I remember I went to Texas. I went to College Station, Texas A&M. I ended up having to go get some toothbrush or whatever at Walmart. I walk into Walmart, and it was a super Walmart, which I've never seen before. I walk in there. I swear to God, it was like a whole section. It was it's hard to explain, man. It's like a big ass section, huge, just of Texas A&M shirts, pants, sweatshirts, hats, beanies, fucking underwear,
Softball. They do.
anything. Huge people all over the fucking aisles. People all over the aisles.
Well, the
You know-
South that's because we breed all the football players. And signing day is a big deal for these colleges because even if these like you were saying, well, they're not proven. It's not about being proven at this point. Your name being up there in the top 10, you get to show all the high school kids that have talent. Hey, look, your name is going to be up here with this school in the top 10. We're the school that's going to get you to the NFL if that's your dream. That's pretty much what signing day is a promise to them saying we're legit enough for you to be into the NFL in the future. So like SMU had a really good signing day. SMU has been trying to recover for the longest time. They used to be a dominant team back in the 50s, 60s, and now they're starting to be relevant again finally after they're blacklisted, whatever the hell it was that happened to them. And SMU had a good recruiting class. Now they get to use that as a tool. Hey, look, we were top, so many, kids in signing here. So the next, great quarterback coming out of high school might want to consider SMU now all of a sudden. All right. That's what happens.
So one of the discussions that gets brought up is, I don't know if it gets brought up down in the US. I know ESPN talks about it, but up here it's always, should college athletes get paid or at least some money? Because the NCAA, when I look at it, they've got stadiums, NFL-sized stadium, 80,000 seats, 70,000 seats. They're filling these things to the brim every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Every single team. You got coaches being paid 10, 15, 20 million dollars to coach a football team.
Mm-hmm.
You've got schools with these massive campuses. They're huge. Like, I've never seen these campuses so big. I mean, we got big ones here, but holy shit, those are huge. And I know they filter money down to like swimming or whatever other sports that the college does. Should they not get paid something? Like, they're only allowed to make $2,000 in a season, or else NCAA gets all pissy at them and they get like suspended and they might lose their scholarship.
I see it in two ways. Well, I don't know if you know, but they have insurance, right? Siggy, aren't all the players insured?
They're insured.
All of the players are insured.
Yeah, most of them are.
Right.
So, some of them more than others because potential draft picks, etc.
Right. I see it as this. First of all, college education, right? Full-blown scholarship.
Yep.
That in itself, that costs hundreds of thousands if you're not one of the athletes. Know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right.
You got a free ride and you got a decision to make. I'm going to be in college for 1 year and then fuck the school and I'm out, or you're going to be there the full 4 years, right? Most of the kids don't last the full 4 years. So, by not taking the education and then paying you the housing, full meals, all meals are included.
Some of them are saying that they're starving though.
That's bullshit. Siggy,
I don't know.
You come on. No,
What's
steaks,
What's that? Bonner?
No, all these fucking football players eat nothing but fucking a lot better than I do. They eat a lot better than I do.
Yeah, they get fed. Then again, it could be they're talking about during not football season, during the rest of their
because they can't make money.
Because they're being
not
fed.
allowed.
They're not like our high school days where they're getting sent to CC's after game day all the time or anything like that. But they have to do things on their own. I think it's a catch-22. You don't want to have them get money or being paid by the teams. What I think they should allow, though, is like, let's say Johnny Manziel situation, for instance, is if they're signing autographs for themselves, that should be their money. They should allow it because it's their brand at that point. If you're making money off of Johnny Manziel, why can't he make money off of himself? So that's where I would say that's where they should at least allow the athletes to make money off of their own brand.
They're hijacking. They own their brand. You're a college kid bringing in, thousands of people. You're the star quarterback, yet you can't even sign an autograph for a kid who's in the stands because it may be seen as you're trying to take money away. And the college owns you. We own you. We own your brand. We own everything.
Yeah.
And the other part is, okay, so if you want to say, okay, while you're in school, we do all this stuff. Okay, fine, whatever. It's when they leave and go to the NFL. If you try and buy, I don't even know what school he went to, but Tom Brady's college jersey, and you go buy it, the college still gets the money for it, not Tom Brady. right?
I didn't even know that. Yeah, probably.
Like, how are these colleges able to make money off these guys after they leave?
No, no, they shouldn't, but they do.
I don't know. I think it's
Hold on,
something
quick.
that
I'll be back real fast. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
I just think that, you know, for me, if you're able to bring in, and these schools go across as we're nonprofit, you know, and whatever, and they got the loopholes. They build all these things, and they build all these Olympic-sized swimming pools, and they bring in top-notch technology into the schools, and I get that. Okay, that's good stuff. You know, have the sports team filter it down and fund every other buddy's, you know, area. But at the same time, then you're still charging, you know, a kid that, you know, plays water polo, and he's not going to get 10,000 people in there. He's lucky to get 1,000 people watching him play water polo. And yeah, he might have top-notch stuff, computers and whatever, but you're still charging that guy $100,000 a year or whatever it is. So you're not really filtering it down. You're filtering it to your campus.
No, trust me, I know, because for baseball recruiting, right? If you get recruited or a scholarship to play, you know, baseball, guess what? It's not a full-blown scholarship. You still have to pay if you're recruited as a baseball player. You don't get a full-on scholarship as if you're a football player. So I get what you're saying, man, and it is a tragedy for those that play other sports. You know, I don't know if you know my backstory, but I was possibly gonna go and play for Florida State college baseball, and during something ended up happening. It was a tournament we ended up going to in Virginia, and I ended up having an accident in the fucking bathtub as I was taking a shower prior to, you know, playing and having all these fucking college scouts there. And I knew right there and then, you know, it wouldn't be a full-blown scholarship, partial scholarship. Get to play for Florida State. I was all excited and hyped, and eventually it didn't go through. I got hurt and injured really badly, and I went into some massive depression after that. But yeah, man, it sucks unless you're a football player or a basketball player.
Basketball
I think.
too.
Yeah, football or basketball
is big too.
Full-blown scholarship. Other than that, you're not. So maybe though, I don't know. How can you tell an athlete though? Oh, you're a football player. You can't get paid. You can't. You can't make any money. But hey, you baseball player, you can go ahead and do so. You know, you can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's just the NCAA is now at the point where
3 minutes left.
Yeah. I just think that they're making so much money off this stuff, and they've got these massive contracts with ESPN and all these other companies. And let's just look at March Madness, man. Like, March Madness brings in billions of dollars. March Madness is massive up here. I'm so into March Madness like you wouldn't believe. I have no idea, you know, the players or who's really good. Like, I know the general schools are always going to be on top, but like, March Madness brings in billions of dollars. Yeah, you know, college football brings in billions of dollars. To me, I think these guys should get a cut, because not everybody who plays football for, let's say, Texas A&M is not going to make it to the NFL. They're lucky if one or two make it. So you can't make that whole, oh, you have a chance to get to the NFL, because it's still only like, what, 1% that make it out of the NCAA? I don't know. To me, you gotta give these guys some money.
Siggy, any last thoughts?
We didn't talk about Manziel. What do you think about that situation? He obviously is going to get dropped whenever the.
Manziel, yeah.
I honestly think he should go away. He should go away from football.
He needs to go away for a while, and if he's lucky, somebody in the Canadian Football League will sign him, and then he can make his dues here and then go back to the NFL. But he needs to step away from everything. That kid needs some serious help. He is, to me, he's the John Jones of the NFL. Like, John Jones in UFC, like, he is the guy that, you know, everybody was so hyped about, everybody was getting behind, and now he's just completely off his rocker. I don't know what's wrong with that kid.
You, Siggy?
It's crazy. I think he just blew his chance though, for sure, to go to the Cowboys. at this point, because that was the team. The last maybe team shot he had was the Cowboys, and now he blew it. And now apparently there was an altercation being investigated too. The TMZ reported that he did hit his girl or threaten to kill her or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's just a mess now. So it's the end of Johnny Manziel already, and we'll never know if he was going to be good or not. It's kind of like a Tebow situation, you know, or two different situations, but you never really. There's always a lot of people that said Tebow could become good, but never had that chance. Now we could probably say the same thing for Manziel at this point. There could have been a chance, maybe could have been good, but we never know. So that's it.
I think
Bye
he's
bye,
done.
John.
He's
All
done.
right, so you want to go ahead and wrap up the show?
Well, thank you everybody for watching. Sorry I had to step away. The pizza got here a little earlier than I thought it would, so that's all right. And thank you for watching. Anybody last words? Anybody say anything quick? What?
Oh, we're all good.
Peace.
I was
All
loving the feedback. Keep it coming. Thanks for
All right,
watching.
guys.
All right,
Take
everybody. There we go.
Bye.
it easy.
Peace.